guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Game, and something on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with Let's Play episode of Temptations Ballad. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Huh. If it's fun you're looking for, hit me up. I'm pretty confident I can show you where you can find it. Yeah! Artemi, that's rather rude to hurl someone across the courtyard mid-conversation. My deepest apologies. I don't know what came over me. But sir, if you insist on becoming acquainted with my new companions, I must insist you avoid that one. And why is that? Young Bonebreaker seems to be such a charming young gentleman. You mustn't be fooled, sir. Kalidai Bonebreaker is a terrible influence. You must resist his temptations. Oh! Why don't you talk to my good friend Lady Osmia? She is much nicer and less prone to terrible life decisions. Ever the lady, Maeve curtsied politely. Greetings, I am Maeve Osmia at your service. An amused grin spread across Grank's face as he gave her a firm handshake. You must be the delightful little lass who's been running the Firefly Festival and stepping on all those nobles' toes. I admire your gumption. House Osmia has done great work in feeding the hungry of this great city. I've worked with some of your druids before, and they're a wonderful bunch. Maeve raised an eyebrow. I'm surprised that the Knight Commander of the Church would think so, given the druid's history with your church. Grank sighed and waved a hand dismissively. The upper clergymen would probably make a big stink about it while waving their big book about, but my roots lie in the streets of this city. From where I stand, the fewer starving children, the better. Maeve bowed again, a small smile peeking out from behind her veil. Your words honor me. Gautier's open-mindedness surprised me when we first met. Clearly she had an excellent teacher. Artemi could see Grank's chest swell up with pride. I'm glad to hear my people is making a good impression out there. Grank's face brightened as he caught sight of Calder huddling behind Sid's tall frame. Ah, and you're the gentleman that my dear Artemi flattened into a fine pace in the joust yesterday. Good to see you still standing, lad. Calder spluttered indignantly from behind Sid's bulk. That match was clearly rigged, and you know it. Summons should be allowed in a competitive setting. Had it been a fair match, I would have easily snatched victory from your cheating grip. Oh? I'm happy to arrange a rematch. That shan't be necessary. Such an inelegant sport is beneath my station anyhow. And it is a sport that my favorite pupil absolutely crushed on her first attempt. I never imagined she'd be taking the field a mere day after stepping out into the world. You have my thanks for being the stepping stone for her victory, lad. Every passing minute, another shred of dignity is snatched from my cold, dead hands. I'm surprised you have any dignity left to lose. Artie, come on, you promised. Ah! I apologize for my crude remark. It was unbecoming of me. Calder scoffed and turned his nose upwards. It seems your Knight Commander spent too much time teaching you to cheat at sports and none at all on basic manners. Watch your tongue. I will not stand for any defamation of the Commander's character. Oh, he hardly needs my help on that front. Have you not heard the rumors? The air stilled. Reality came rushing back to Artemi like a flood, washing away what hearty banter they had and unearthing only cold tension. Sid glanced frantically between them and tugged on Calder's sleeve, dragging the hyena away from the barrel of snakes he had unknowingly knocked over. Okay, why don't we go check on Cole? I think he landed somewhere over that ledge. What is the rush? I'm sure the little fraud's thick skull is still intact. Miss Osmia, you can heal, right? Can you come along, too? As you wish. The others awkwardly shuffled out of earshot, leaving Artemi and Grank alone to their own devices. Artemi cleared her throat loudly, willing away the encroaching silence. For what it's worth, I think you have wonderful manners, sir. Ha! I've never been concerned with appearances, but thank you. The old bear peered at Artemi carefully. Very little ever perturbed the commander, but his fidgeting gloves betrayed a sliver of insecurity, in spite of his words. I understand that you are working hard to build up your own image as the Creator's chosen. If you are concerned with matters of reputation, I can refrain from publicly consorting with you if you wish. What? No, of course not. That matters little to me. I'd rather we return to how things once were, as simple teacher and pupil. Grank's eyes softened. Was that ever lost? I don't know. Artemi hung her head low. She could hear the hurt on her mentor's face, but she could see the hurt on her mentor's face, but she could not bear to meet his gaze. Oh, okay, so. Alright. Everything is moving so quickly. Things that were certain mere days ago are now a blur. I'm not sure what to think. Do you regret it? Stepping out into the world beyond the walls of the church district? The commander's voice fell into an almost nervous mumble. Do you resent me for sending you out on this mission? Artemi looked up sharply. No, of course not! There have been hardships, yes, but joy too. I have found people outside the cathedral's walls that mean the world to me, and I wouldn't give them up for anything. And... She bit her lip and their eyes finally met. They both froze, uncertainty hanging in the air. Artemi stared into the nervous look on her commander's face for several long moments before finally giving Grank a brief smile. Given the option, I wouldn't want to give up on my dear Knight Commander either. The old bear's face went through a cascade of emotions before settling into something so tender that it hurt to look at. Artemi suddenly felt a hot flash of shame for putting him through such doubt. Artemi, I wouldn't want to lose you either. I'm sorry, again, for keeping such secrets from you. The man that I was, the pale butcher. I did what I must to survive, but it brought with me a lifetime of shame. That is not the man you are now, sir. I am speaking to Grank Stormborn, the man who trained me and taught me all I know. He is also the man who set me down the path where I found my closest friends. Perhaps I don't know him as well as I thought, but that needn't be a frightening thing. For either of us. A warm smile spread across Grank's face. I would like nothing more than to be reacquainted with my favorite pupil. You have grown quite wise during your time out in the world. These two are so adorable. Despite your rumblings, your friends seem to be a wonderful influence. Artemi couldn't help but chuckle. Her chest felt lighter than it had in days. They are good people. Good friends. Even that accursed Colodite Bonebreaker. Don't tell him I said that, though. Best keep him on his toes. Grank let out a hearty laugh, and she found herself joining him. All that time spent dreading this reunion. It was nice to have her mentor back. Speaking of your friends... Artemi blinked and noticed the commander's gaze drift over her shoulder. She glanced around, and a horrific scene suddenly hit her like a mallet to the face. In the distance near the cliffside, Cole was down on one knee before Sid. His face was awash in theatrical zeal as he slowly slid an onion ring across the badger's pinky finger. To Artemi's horror and utter betrayal, Sid let out a gasp and pressed a dainty hand to his heart. Boss, this is so sudden! Well, I'm super flattered, but think of our positions! Cole looked like he was having a stroke whilst trying to keep a straight face. Will you accept it? I do not like this. I do not sound like that. Sid clutched his chest, completely giving up on holding back his snickers. Yes, thank you. Meow! I take back what I said. I'm afraid I have made no such friends. Hey, Sid, you needed a distraction. We were helping. Is everything all right now? I'll keep Calder in the corner here just in case. Artemi stared skyward and prayed for the Creator to bless her with patience and forgiveness that she did not have. What have I done to deserve this suffering? But what is friendship but mutual torment? I am glad you are doing well, dear girl. I sure don't feel like it. A slightly singed Cole shuffled up to them with a toothy grin. How did it go with your commander? Are you too cool again? Yes, excellent. I knew it'd work out. That old bear always seems to be the understanding type. Oh yes, and you have been so helpful. Happy to be of service. If you take this as a sign to spread your dastardly influence onto the Knight Commander, you've got another thing coming. Ha! Good luck catching me. I can teleport now. Mrs. Shrikewood, you've doomed us all. Maeve rejoined their little circle and cleared her throat quietly. If I may interrupt the pleasantries, we are here to seek an audience with Prince Cassius. I believe Gautier sent a raven on this matter yesterday. Ah, yes, your meeting. I'm afraid His Highness is not available at the moment. The lad always had a delicate disposition, but the death of his parents and this recent demon attack have left him in quite a state. He has declined all meetings with officials and the public for the time being. Cole froze, his hackles rising. Wait, seriously? But the Chosen One herself wants to meet him. It's a big and important matter. I'm sure he can spare like 5 minutes to answer some questions. Grank shook his head firmly. His Highness was quite adamant. He will not be seeing anyone today. To shut himself off right after a demon attack on the city. Surely he can see that this is not a favorable impression for his constituents. Has he made any formal statement of the situation at large? I'm afraid Prince Cassius has never seen himself as a real authority figure in any way. In his eyes, the role had fallen onto his lap, and he has neither the will nor capability to fulfill it. And yet the role is his and his alone. We would be happy to take our business elsewhere, but there is simply no one else to turn to. Is there any way he can be convinced otherwise? We need only a moment of his time. Bear sighed and shook his head. I'm afraid not. The prince is quite the nervous wreck. I attempted to speak with him this morning, but it didn't go well. Cole gritted his teeth in frustration. He had anticipated that the prince might be tight-lipped, but refused to see them entirely. His princeliness sure knows how to make things difficult. Cole took several steps back, his eyes tracing over the towering visage of the Castle Diluvian. Ghostly gaze. His eyes glowed as his vision expanded, piercing through the stone walls until he found what he was looking for. I see him! He's at his window, watching us right now! Sure enough, poking out one of the topmost balconies of the castle tower was the tiny blue head of a peacock. Cole waved his arms wildly. Hey, your highness, get down here! The Chosen One needs your help with some shit! The church is gonna be real mad if you ignore her! The little blue head jumped, startled, before immediately retreating back into his room. Your diplomacy skills are astounding. Worth a shot, at least I got his attention. And frightened him into hiding, it seems. He's scared shitless about everything. Did you see him at the festival yesterday? Agitating him further will not help matters. This is a delicate situation. Maeve glared up at the balcony towering high above them. If he is adverse to conversation, perhaps we can send a letter directly to his window. He probably did not even read Gautier's original letter in the rush of yesterday's events. If he learns the gravity of our situation... Oh, please, he's got every reason to refuse us. We're wasting time. I'm going up there to talk to him myself. Excuse me, you can't simply barge into the royal palace unannounced. Cole shrugged. All right. Yo, Prince, I'm coming up! Unbelievable. Cassius slumped down behind the thick curtains of his balcony, his chest thumping rapidly. He knew that people would be seeking his attention after the demon attack, but he had hoped Sir Grank would keep most of them at bay. The thought of having to actually speak to someone from the outside. Cassius shivered. And not to mention, that was the Creator's Chosen, wasn't it? She was the reservoir that Father had spoken of. He was fairly certain he was not supposed to interact with her at all. Cassius swallowed against the anxious pounding of his chest. He wished Father was here. No one ever taught him how to do anything. He wasn't ready to deal with any of this on his own. Ah! There you are! Hey, Your Highness, I know you're busy hiding in your bedroom, but I need to talk to you about something. Ah! Who are you? Cassius fell backwards, his tail feathers spilling out in a cascade behind him. You shouldn't be here! This is the royal bedchamber! Oh, perfect. I've done excellent work in a lot of bedchambers. I just need a moment of your time. Won't be a bother at all. My issues are just a simple matter of life and death. That doesn't make it any less stressful. Please, leave. There are officials who can help you with your grievances. No, we need the help of the prince himself. The Creator's Chosen is counting on you to save the day and all that good jazz. You're not going to say no to divine providence, are you? If the Chosen One is relying on my help of all people, then the world may well and truly be doomed. She probably wouldn't like me very much. I'd hate to disappoint her. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!